For over a century, the global economy has been a byproduct of a subterranean lottery. A nation's economic standing was often defined by whether it sat on a specific reserve of fossilized carbon. This created a rigid hierarchy. Nations without these deposits faced a permanent trade deficit and a strategic vulnerability to the states that controlled the supply. This infrastructure supplies the chemical base for everything from agricultural fertilizers to medical-grade plastics. It is the physical material foundation of the modern industrial market. By tying the global economy to extraction, we locked the planet into a cycle where energy security is inseparable from border conflicts and pipeline politics. While wind and solar can power our homes, heavy industries and long-haul aviation require the extreme energy density found only in liquid hydrocarbons. We cannot simply walk away from these molecules. The solution requires a pivot in how we think about the fuel itself. Instead of hunting for where these molecules are buried, we have to look at how they are built. We can synthesize these identical fuels using the basic chemical elements found in the air and water around us. This moves energy production from a challenge of finding a lucky location to a challenge of consistent manufacturing. Early attempts to capture environmental energy, like this vintage wind prototype, focused on converting motion into simple mechanical power. Researchers simultaneously developed the first solar thermal collectors, proving that we could harvest energy directly from the sun's radiation. Today, these technologies have scaled into massive, highly efficient systems that generate a continuous surplus of clean electricity. This output, the green electron, is more than just grid power. It is a precision tool for molecular engineering. We finally have the clean energy workforce necessary to assemble complex fuels from scratch. The process begins with electrolysis, using green electrons to sever water molecules, isolating pure green hydrogen. Next, we introduce carbon captured from the atmosphere. Applying the intense energy of green electricity bonds these elements into an interlocking hydrocarbon chain. The final liquid is chemically indistinguishable from the diesel or jet fuel we use today. Because this process recycles carbon already in the atmosphere, it creates a closed loop with zero net emissions and zero need for drilling. We are effectively bypassing a geologic process that takes millions of years and replicating it in a lab in a few hours. Manufacturing fuel above ground removes the requirement for ancient subterranean deposits. Any nation with wind or sun can now produce its own internal supply of heavy hydrocarbons. This localized production bypasses the traditional shipping lanes and international pipelines that have defined global conflict for a century. Global energy security is now being decoupled from the Earth's crust and transferred to our own technological capacity. This isn't a theoretical model. The infrastructure for this synthetic economy is being constructed right now. At Biogenic Urja, we are designing the systems that will anchor this new energy landscape. We are developing the innovative technology required to convert carbon and hydrogen into the vital derivatives and fuels that power modern life. The era of the geographic lottery is over. Energy's future is being synthesized.